Hello folks, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kenny and I'm outside today, folks. It's a fairly decent day here, relatively mild, except the wind is awful. Let me tell you, it is awful. I want to show you something today that maybe some of you old timers may know what this is and maybe how far it goes back. I have got something here I've got to restore. I have got a classic antique. Let me show you. Let me give you an up-close view of this. This is an antique homemade drawing knife. I picked this thing up at a flea market not long ago. I like stuff like that. But you can look at this thing. Let me stand up right here and show you this in front of the camera, if I may. Now, it doesn't have any inscription on it, but you can tell that it is made in a blacksmith shop by the way it's cut around the sides of it here toward the handles. And of course, it's got homemade handles on it. But I'm going to restore this thing, hopefully be able to bring a lustrous shine to it. But I'm thinking that this thing was probably made back in the 1800s. Because of the way it's shaped here, it is handmade, and you can tell by this particular style of it because it's really, really thick. It's about 2 inches wide. About 2 inches wide, and it's got a groove down the middle of it here. Now, your modern draw knives do not have that. Now let me flip it over, and the back side of it is very smooth, but of course extreme rusty. I believe that that's a classic antique that goes back to the 1800s, and I am pretty much positive that it does go back that far. Now, I'm going to restore it. The first thing I'm going to do to restore this thing, you guessed it, I'm going to spray this thing down with WD-40. And in order to, I'm not going to get that on my hands. In order to really get it really to where I think it'll come clean, I'm going to let it soak at least a half hour before I attempt to do my thing. So listen, I have sprayed this thing down. I'm going to let it absorb all of that WD-40, and you hang around and we'll put a shine to this thing and hopefully bring it back to its original color. So hang around and we will let her soak, and then we'll get started. Now folks, we are in the process of getting a ton of rust off of this thing. So I'm using my drill with a rotary type steel brush that could remove a lot of that rust. Now it looks wet, but here's what my strategy is. It may take multiple times to get this done. And incidentally, some of you that are viewing me right now, it may be that this is your first time. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that bell and unlock the channel, and that way you'll have access to all of our videos. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and we would appreciate it. So let's clean this draw knife. That thing has got 50 years, probably more than that, rust on it. I'm going to turn around just a little bit here so I can see better. I'm partly in the shade here. I'm spraying it down as I go, which I've already let this set for a little while. Now let's wipe it off a little bit, if we may, and see what it looks like. Look at that. Oh man, that rust is beginning to come off of it. Holy cow, can you see that? It's got probably 1/8 of an inch of rust on it that just simply doesn't want to give at all. So let's spray it down again. And we're going to let that remain on there for at least another 10 or 15 minutes maybe, just to get a real good head start at removing that stuff. I'm sure there's probably something a little bit more effective at removing that rust than WD-40 is, but right now we will rely on it. So I'm going to leave it on that block for another 10 to 15 minutes, and we will get that thing back to normal, I hope, within a matter of time here. Okay now folks, take a look. This is the progress that we have made thus far. Coming along really well. As you can see, I have never in my entire life experienced steel to this degree. This is some of the toughest, the most hardest steel I have ever tried to put a finish on. Now this has got, oh my God, probably over 100 years of rust buildup. And I can tell you it's not easy done, but we're gradually getting it decent, if you will. But we're going to continue to work on it until we get most of that off, if not all of it, okay? Okay now folks, I want to show you my finished product here. I am really proud of this. That is what that thing looked like over 100 years ago. This thing, I'm sure that it was made back in the mid to late 1800s. It may be close to 150 years old. And you can tell by the design of it once I got all of the crud off. And incidentally, folks, I soaked this thing overnight in raw gasoline. That's right, in raw gasoline, to get that color back like it was when it was first made. That's right, this thing was handmade in an old-timey blacksmith shop. And I'm talking about, you can see the work that the man that made it, how that he constructed it. He had a unique pattern. And let me show you the back. There we go. Give you the back look of it. He had a unique pattern, and he knew how to make it, because this strip right here across the top of it is what makes it so unique and so different. That thing weighs about almost a pound, and I'm going to put a new edge on it. That's the solidest, most hardest, that metal is like metal should be today, but unfortunately it's not. But that's what the unique thing looks like, and it is a work of art, and I wanted to share that with you. So listen, I've enjoyed doing this. I really have. It's something that I really love doing. I've enjoyed doing it, and I'm going to put new handles on it, and I'm going to use it. I want to put the thing to work. I'm going to put it to handy. I'm going to start using it, of course, debarking a lot of lumber, a lot of wood, and I'm going to put new handles on it. But I've enjoyed tremendously doing this, and I appreciate you for watching our videos. And listen, as always, you have a wonderful, blessed day, and we will talk to you later.